Stunt. Mission specialist Mike Barrett and Steve Bowen. Discovery's three main engines are burning fuel at a rate that would drain an average swimming pool in about 25 seconds. The engines combined with the solid rocket boosters produce more than 7 million pounds of thrust. 1 minute, 50 seconds into the flight, we're standing by for separation of the twin solid rocket boosters. Discovery now traveling 2,695 miles an hour. Its altitude 24 miles. Downrange from the Kennedy Space Center 29 miles.
Well, that there was the final liftoff of the U.S. shuttle Discovery, carrying astronauts on board for the very last time, as the U.S. president has phased out
is now converging as the shuttle's onboard computers fine-tune the flight.
its shuttle program, the U.S.'s shuttle program. A lot of people describing it there as bittersweet. We're saying it's the final countdown, the last time the U.S. shuttle Discovery goes up to space. Let's just listen in.
Discovery now getting a boost into orbit from its twin orbital maneuvering system engines on either side of the shuttle's tail. These two engines will burn for 2 minutes and 32 seconds.
Your two-engine TAL. We do have updates to your no-com mode boundaries, and we did launch late into Pane 1, our only pane. The contingency aboard boundaries we'll use are in-plane plus 230. Let me know when you're ready to copy the new Presta ATO and Presta MECO.
Okay, copy all. Two-engine TAL and ready to copy.
Into your Presta ATO 11.9. Presta MECO 15.4.
11.9 and 15.4.
That's a good readback on both.
Discovery can now make it to emergency
So
landing
just
sites in
watching there
Europe.
the
Should
final
one be
liftoff
failed,
for
it'll
Space Shuttle
continue to perform
Discovery
as
there.
expected.
Thanks for joining us here on Al Jazeera. We'll be back after this very short break with all the day's developments.
Welcome back to your international weather forecast. Well, across Japan, we are going to see some very heavy rain showers on Friday. As you can see, those rain showers are also bringing some warmer temperatures. We're looking at Tokyo at about 19 degrees. But as we go into Saturday, those rain showers move out into the Pacific. We get clearer skies, but the temperatures do begin to drop. You can see Tokyo about 10. And we are looking at Osaka at about 14 degrees, but some very good news in the forecast, especially for China, who has been seeing a lot of drought activity over the last couple of decades. This is the worst drought they have seen, but look at this. We are looking at snow in their forecast as well as rain. We're looking at about 60 millimeters, a little bit closer to the coast, but up to 300 millimeters of snow is going to be falling as we go inland. So that's going to be very, very good for the farmers over the next couple of days and into the next couple of weeks because they have finally some precipitation to melt. Down towards southern parts of China, we are looking at very cloudy conditions. Unfortunately, that's not going to change over the next couple of days. Temperatures stay about the same. Hong Kong at 23, Hanoi about 22. And for the next week, it's really going to stay pretty much mild, dry, and we are going to be seeing cloudy conditions there. Down towards Australia, we are looking at some very messy conditions up here to the north. Possibly a cyclone is going to be forming. We'll be keeping you informed on that. Down to the south, though, very warm temperatures.
In 1984, a new energy company was born here in Qatar, bringing pride and recognition to the nation, destined to touch the lives of billions of people around the world. We're proud of our achievements and technological breakthroughs. We're proud of our people. Most importantly, we're proud of our responsibility to deliver energy to the world.
Unpopular with some at home, untested overseas. The first year has not been easy for David Cameron and his coalition government. In conjunction with U2, Al Jazeera asks your questions to the British Prime Minister. World View, an interview with David Cameron at this time on Al Jazeera.
Libya's leader claims to have moral authority, blaming drug-taking youth and Osama bin Laden for his nation's uprising. (22 GMT). I'm Darine Abu Gheda. You're watching Al Jazeera with our live and extensive coverage on the crisis in Libya. Moves to expel Libya from the UN's Human Rights Council as a French diplomat claims the death toll could top 2,000. Swiss authorities take steps to freeze Gaddafi's assets in the country. And Libya's former justice minister tells Al Jazeera Gaddafi has chemical weapons and is not afraid to use them. Libya's leader has compared himself to Britain's Queen Elizabeth and blamed dissent in his country on Osama bin Laden. In his second address to the nation since the uprising began, Colonel Gaddafi sounded as defiant as ever, but notably spoke via telephone rather than appearing in vision. Gaddafi is fast losing the support of his inner circle. His cousin, the country's ambassador to Jordan, and the close aide in Egypt all resigned on Thursday. In a moment, we'll get the latest from our correspondent in eastern Libya, but first, here's Lawrence Lee.
The latest town to experience heavy fighting isn't very far from Tripoli, and that perhaps explains why protesters from Azawiyah have told Al Jazeera that the army came to the town and opened fire on them with heavy artillery, their hunting rifles no match. Witnesses said at least 100 were killed, and they expected the army to return after dark.
We asked them to stop all their fires, but they didn't reply. The shooting was direct to the people. They shot the people in the head and in the chest, direct. So they were trying to kill the people, not terrifying them.
If that's one version of events, the other came from Gaddafi himself. He turned up by telephone on Libyan television with a message to Azawiyah. He said the town had been infiltrated by Al-Qaeda, bin Laden, drugs and madness.
The demands come from bin Laden. You Azawiyah people are substituting the popular and Jamahiriya system with bin Laden. Bin Laden cells have been operating here for months. His operatives are provoking and brainwashing your children, inciting them to launch attacks. The enemy perpetrating the killings of our children, operating from mosques or elsewhere. Bin Laden and his operatives are providing your children with hallucination pills. Those are the true perpetrators. Arrest them and bring them to court.
The Gaddafis are certainly not short of opinions on what's happening in their country. While his father was blaming Al-Qaeda and drugs for the revolts, Saif al-Islam Gaddafi once again accusing the outside media of invention and lies.
We have to understand that the conspiracy against us is not coming from Libyans. It is coming from our Arab brothers. They have used their media to spread lies and deception. Tomorrow, all media is coming and they will film everything. There is also an investigation committee, which includes